back to a new video. Today we're going to be reminiscing on the top 10 central defenders of Football Manager 2005. Personally, I think the mid-2000s had some of the best defenders in the history of the game, so it's going to be interesting to see how highly these guys are rated. Just a disclaimer, obviously this is subjective, and the way I've decided the top 10 is based purely on their value within the game. The central defenders here are the top 10 most highly valued. Without further ado, let's jump in with number 10. Sol Campbell, infamous for transferring from Tottenham to Arsenal. It definitely made him unpopular in some parts of North London. He was a great player in his prime. Personally, I think on some technical attributes he's been underrated, particularly his passing, but his physicals are otherworldly. Definitely deserves a place in the top 10. Is Fabio Cannavaro in 9th? Yes, this list definitely has some depth if he's ranking in 9th. For me, I think he's underrated when people reflect on this era. Some of his titles were taken away with Calciopoli, but he did well at Real Madrid too. Not to mention, he lifted the World Cup as captain of Italy in 2006. Definitely a legend of the sport. Next up, we've got Roberto Ayala. It's funny, a couple of his Valencia teammates featured in another video I did of the top 10 defensive midfielders of this era. That Valencia team was stacked, and it's not surprising they won multiple La Liga titles and reached 2 UEFA Champions League finals. Whilst not the tallest of centre-back, attributes-wise, he's top-notch. You may have noticed him recently as well, as one of the assistant coaches as Argentina won the World Cup. In 7th is Jorge Andrade. He played at Deportivo in a very successful era for the club. He would win a Spanish Super Cup there, before transferring to Juventus. His story didn't end well though, retiring at the age of 30, having broken his kneecap 3 times. Ouch. Ivan Helguera, a very elegant centre-half as you can see, with both passing and first touch 17. Tyrone Mings could definitely learn a thing or two from him. He would go on to make 343 appearances for Real Madrid, winning 3 league titles and 2 UEFA Champions Leagues. One of my personal favourite players from this era, Lucio. Look how good he was in his prime. Physically, he was on a whole other level. I forgot that he even played in Germany, to be honest. I always think of him in the black and blue of Inter Milan. Incredibly, he didn't retire until 2020, playing his final 2 seasons at Brasiliense in his native country. 23-year-old John Terry, another top player. 14 pace might be a little bit generous though. During his career, he would go on to win 5 league titles and a Champions League at Chelsea. The third Englishman on our list, Rio Ferdinand. How did we not win a single trophy with our squad back then? Our backup central defenders were better than the ones we have starting now. A great player though, who formed a formidable partnership with Nemanja Vidic at Man United. Another of the world's greats, Alessandro Nesta. He had a highly successful career at Lazio before joining AC Milan in 2002. At AC, he would go on to win 2 more league titles and 2 UEFA Champions League. Just a few honourable mentions for our list. A couple of older guys who are perhaps past their prime a little bit footballing-wise, before we get to number 1. Paolo Maldini, one of my favourite players ever. At 36, he's not getting any younger here, but still unbelievably good. In real life, he went on to play until his 40s, a top player and a top athlete. Piero, Real Madrid legend, and maybe a Bolton Wanderers one too. 6 league titles with Real Madrid, 3 Champions Leagues. Most recently, he coached Spain in the 2018 World Cup. But let's get back to our list. And finally, number 1. It's Carlos Puyol of FC Barcelona. At age 26, he's looking great. 18 pace might be a little bit generous though. A one-club man, he'd go on to win 6 league titles, 2 UEFA Champions Leagues, also a World Cup with Spain. Definitely a worthy winner of this list. Well, that draws today's video to a close. In my opinion, this era of football, defensively, was a lot more superior. Most of these guys in their prime would walk into more or less any team in the world right now. Maybe as football changes more, emphasis will return to the defensive style though, and allow modern defenders more protection as they play. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please like and subscribe.